Hi, I'm Sebastian,
Hi, and I'm Juan.
and today we will be exploring the pros and cons of hiring a full service marketing agency versus building an in house team. Get ready to learn, explore, and discover the best approach for your business. Let's get started and buckle up.
How do you optimize your customer's journey, drive demand, reduce churn rate, increase retention, and generate growth? Are some of the questions marketers continuously ask.
Welcome to the Customer XP Crew Weekly Podcast, where we discuss marketing strategies, tactics, ideas, experiences, invite guests and experts to help you with your marketing growth by being customer-centric. And now to this episode.
Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Customer XP Crew, your weekly podcast about everything customer centric. Today, we're going to be diving deep into the world of digital marketing and exploring a topic that's on the minds of many business owners and marketing professionals as well, which is outsourcing digital marketing services. Specifically, we're going to be comparing the pros and cons of two different approaches, hiring a full service marketing agency versus building an in-house team. Which approach is the best for your business? Well, that's what we're going to find out. Whether you're a small business owner just starting out or a seasoned marketing professional looking to stay ahead of the curve, you're in the right spot. Get ready and buckle up. With me is, as always, marketing director and industry expert Juan Gomez. Juan, how's everything?
Hey, Sebastian, great introduction. I think
Thank
today's
you.
topic is one of the ones that a lot of marketeers and business owners and directors and decision makers always make about hiring or not hiring a marketing
Mhm.
agency or going full in-house. And there's a lot of pros and cons and related to this, but let's dig a little bit deeper today. What do you say?
Awesome. To begin with, I would like to let to make it clear for the audience, like the main difference between full service marketing agency and outsourcing. What do you think is the key aspect that difference both of the approaches?
Well, everything depends on the needs that a company has. So, for example, if you have a really good content team and you're creating and content continuously and it's going well, you're augmenting your followers, you are increasing awareness, you're increasing engagement, and that's working for you and leads are good, but you need help with SEO, then you just need an SEO agency. On the other hand, if you don't have an SEO partner and you're not doing well, or you're doing it in house but it's not working well, then you might consider an SEO agency. Or if you need just a whole realm of marketing services from email marketing, content marketing, social media marketing, uh, production, content production, you need to create blogs, SEO, so all of these things and encompass into one specific team, then you're looking for a full service agency.
Sure. I think this is one of the first things that comes to mind to any business owner. Which one, in general terms, could be more cost effective?
That's a great question and it varies, but mostly the rule of thumb is for small and mid-sized businesses, it's better to go with a marketing agency than hiring a full service agency. And even though you have a good team of an internal team of marketers, then you also need creative talent, and that's mostly found on inside marketing agencies, which are always trying to grab the best creative talent that there
Yes,
is. So
they always strive to stay ahead of the game.
correct, and that's why most agencies just have this great pool of talent on more on the creative side. But execution wise, obviously there might be some kind of an overlap between your internal team and you wanting to have an internal team and an agency's team. So you want to make sure that you both align, and as a company, you choose the right agency for you. And if it's just a particular agency or if it's a full service agency. Remember, full service agencies can also just provide that particular single service for you.
Exactly.
And it allows you to scale once you have the need for the other marketing services.
And there's also something really there's a crucial aspect, which is the overhead cost. When you start building your in-house team, you have to take into consideration the time and the resources that are required to look for that talent, the time and resources that require in terms of training that talent. And you have to think about, I don't know, insurance, vacation policies, all that kind of stuff that's really important to take into account. Obviously, there might be some advantages. I believe that an in-house team might have probably a better understanding of the internal culture of your company,
Mhm.
which is very important in terms of having a solid brand. You need to have a team that really comprehends and that channels your vision as a whole. But on the other side, I also think that full service marketing agencies have the ability to adapt to your needs. And they are
Yes.
constantly adapting and evolving and learning new things with the pass of time. And another bright side is that agencies are always acquiring the latest tools and trends on technology. So that's a really huge thing in favor of agencies.
Yeah, so the pros of just grabbing an agency and hiring one is, as you said before, you have access to specialized expertise. So these agencies really go after and they make sure that they vet correctly the candidates that they bring on the team, and they stay on top of the latest trends and technologies and people with the creative minds, so that you are offering the most well-versed marketing in different areas such as social media, SEO, PPC advertising, content marketing, and obviously much more, email marketing, mobile marketing. Well, we can go a long list on it.
Hmm,
So outsourcing to an agency, it really allows you to bring the best expertise
true.
from agencies who are really focus on this, and maybe you want to focus on hiring a marketing agency who specializes in that niche, and instead of looking for one that goes and serves all the trades, because then
Yes,
it's going to
that,
give
that
you a more
that's a common
specialized.
mistake. It's true.
Correct, yes. One of the other things that's also a a pro or a benefit of hiring an agency is cost saving, as you said before. So hiring a full-time employee, obviously you have to pay taxes on top of it. You have to pay benefits. You have to pay other expenses. You need to get more technology and other tools for the people. And one of the things that obviously affects all companies is training. So training and
Hmm.
adaptation of this person to with the culture. So everything like that, it kind of hinders your team, because um, if you want to scale, which that's another pro for a marketing agency, it's easier for you to scale, but it kind of hinders on the human resource side if you have it in-house, because
Exactly.
hiring is a slow process. And with an agency, you can pretty much, it's like turning on a switch, and
Mhm.
you can be flexible and scale your service to be tailored to whatever your company is going through or whatever it needs right now. Whereas if you were to hire it, really hire in-house, then you have to come and vet that person and interview them and, well, do all these kind of things that obviously it's going to take a lot of time, and it's not going to work as fast as you might want it to be. So that's another pro or benefit of hiring a marketing agency. The other thing which we also forget is objectivity and perspective. So when you have an external or a third party agency just offering this service to you, they're going to be really objective. They're not going to be
That's
biased
true.
or influenced by the internal politics or culture or
Yes,
pressure
because they're
from.
part of the family of their company. It's true.
Correct. So you're not gonna feel that internally, and or at least the agency is a lot more objective in its perspective because it's not within the organization. It's an ally of the organization, but it's not really creating a conflict between your perspective and or whatever is your goal, and just by having your boss and saying no to your boss, trust me, the agency is going to say, hey, no, that's not the correct way, because they see it as consulting and that's part of their service. So it's not like you're dishonoring your boss's opinion. Obviously there has to be some negotiation on this, and you come and to an agreement with the agency, and you can continue this if there's some type of altercation with the perspective that you're handling. But the idea here is that obviously marketing agencies are going to give you the most objective advice. And the other thing is you get to focus, and this is probably the biggest benefit, you get to focus on your core business functions. So if you're a technology company, then you focus on what you do best, which is producing the best technology product for whatever niche or service or industry you're doing it for, or whatever problem you're solving, instead of focusing on things that really don't affect your core business functions. Is just a matter of obviously attracting people and communicating and all that stuff, which you can leave that to the agency instead of relying on internal marketing team, and where you can use those marketing efforts to communicate better your features and functions to the users and all the other things that happen within your software or product or service or whatever is it that you sell to to your customers while they are your customers. So if I was the head of that company, I would use a marketing agency to help me with mostly the buyer's journey and all that kind of stuff, and then kind of be create a good partnership with them. So while they are my customers, so once they become my customers, the people that they're bringing in as leads and all that kind of stuff. So once they convert as customer, what is the customer experience, and also from a customer journey optimization perspective, how we can make that experience a lot better. So for me, those are the pros.
Fantastic. Uh, when once a business decides to go with a full service marketing agency, how can businesses, let's say, ensure that their digital marketing efforts are in line with their overall branding and core messaging when they are outsourcing to an agency, which is a thing that normally they can rely more when they have an in-house team.
I think most businesses sometimes, especially when they are a young business, they fail to have good branding guidelines. So I think first things first is define your brand guidelines. And if you have that documentation, obviously once you hire that marketing agency, you can give this documentation to the agency, and you can go from there. Because if you don't have this, then a good agency is going to tell you, okay, but you haven't defined your brand. You haven't defined what's your purpose, and you haven't defined what's your mission, vision, values, what tone, what type of personality are you trying to portray as a brand. So all of these things from a branding standpoint need to be already cemented to the company, and obviously be an integral part of it. So when a marketing agency starts doing its job, that part is obviously very clear, and then they can take that and make it resonate even louder.
Fantastic. Thank you. Um, Now let's go to the other side. How can businesses determine whether they have like the required resources and knowledge to manage their digital marketing efforts in-house?
I think that's a really hard question, and it's very subjective, but pretty much if a business is not making, it's not creating leads from their marketing efforts, if it's not gaining exposure, awareness, and if you're not even having those KPIs and you're measuring them, then yeah, you need an agency right now, ASAP. But
Yes.
you should have something going for you, that you have like a standard or a procedure or a playbook where you say, okay, we're gonna measure every week what our efforts are doing, or every 2 weeks. And if it's, I don't know, just social media, let's say you just focus on social media. So are we growing on followers? Are we growing in engagement? What's the type of content we're creating? Is the content being good? What type of content is the one that they engage the most, and what is helping us the most, so you can continue to do this more often. So based on those type of answers, then you can really go ahead and figure out what works for you, and you continue to do it internally. But again, if you're not measuring, and you don't know anything about this, or you're not doing anything like this where you have some type of control and you have something that you measure yourself against, then by all means you really, really, really need a marketing agency.
Yes. I think the problem comes when people don't really spend the time and take the time and dedication to wisely choose the right full service marketing agency. I think that whenever conflict arise, is because they just like handpick any, they look for any marketing agency and just went for it. And that's a huge no, because even though marketing agencies are an external factor, you need to kind of resonate with them to have a clear understanding, not to go to the distance, but it's like when you make an alliance or a partnership, or even in your personal life, when you choose your life partner, you have to you look for certain chemistry, or some common understanding of things. So I think that if you really take the time and dedication to choose the agency that's the right fit for you, you won't regret it, and it's going to be a huge lifesaver. It's going to save you tons of time and resources, and just go with it.
Yeah, I think we can rephrase that question, and it's when, if you're looking to grow, should I hire an agency? And then that's a simple answer, and that's yes. Because
Exactly.
then you're gonna hire a good agency. Obviously, you're gonna go and spend some time looking for the right agency, or if it comes through a referral, then great, you can vet that option too. But the idea here is that if you have a plan to grow, then leave it to the experts who are well versed in marketing tactics and strategies, and are able to implement this tactics and strategies to bring you the results you want, which is to grow your company in revenue and engagement and awareness, and obviously bottom line, which is money. So
Yes.
that's the overall that you want, and that's the result of a marketing agency should bring to you, to your company. Now let's talk about a little bit of what are the cons, because yeah, we talked about all the pros, but there's always a downside to everything.
Yes.
So what are some of the cons that you have of hiring a marketing agency? So one of them is lack of control, meaning outsourcing marketing efforts kind of, you don't have a 24/7, even though you don't have a 24/7 even with a full-time employee, but obviously they're within your control, quote unquote, 24/7. Whereas with a marketing agency, you have you have to give away some control because they're there to do it more based on objectives than just being full-time there for you. So
Yes.
obviously they're just gonna tackle the tasks at hand, but that doesn't mean that they are 24/7 there.
Yeah. Whereas in-house, maybe you have more control of your analytics.
Correct. No, I mean, in your staff. So let's say something came up to your desk and you need to take care right away, then it's easier. You just call that person and you tell, hey, you must do this.
Yes.
Whereas with an agency, you might have to create a ticket.
A ticket.
You might have to call your account executive, talk to them, then they go and leverage that person who is the appropriate party to solve that issue. So it might take a little bit longer in that sense, but it will get solved, yes. Whereas with an employee, it might be more immediate if it's something small. If it's something bigger and it requires more expertise, then obviously it's better with an agency because you have more people that have this type of expertise. The other thing that's a con is some of the communication challenges. So communicating with an external agency can be a little bit more challenging because they're not part of the internal team. You don't see them face to face, even though nowadays we have a lot of tools to enhance communication, which like virtual meetings, like the one we do with Teams or with Zoom or Google Meets or whatever it is. You have that. You can also have obviously your account executive or a phone call. The best thing I think that works a lot and we do really good at marketing is we have a really good project management system that's proprietary to us, where we have that transparency. We create tickets. It also gives them, it gives the client a peace of mind and the transparency of seeing what we're doing, what tasks
Tracking
is being
everything.
completed, what comments are being there, if a file is there, and it always generates an email, so you always get that notice. And if you go onto our platform, then you can see all the activity that is going up with that project, that is going on with that project, or it's going on with that specific task, request, or incident via ticket. So having this kind of technological tools, it really creates a lot of good communication and transparency, which gives peace of mind to the client. So, but agencies that don't have this, then it kind of creates a little bit of misunderstandings and delays in terms of communication. Another probable concern of hiring an agency is confidentiality. Obviously, you want to share confidential information with an NDA in place, so you make sure you protect yourself as a company, and you don't find that much of a risk when sharing this obviously important information for your company. Another probable con is integration challenges, and that means integrating the agency's work with your company's current marketing efforts. So obviously you don't want to overlap yourself with the efforts that you have right now as a company and what your internal marketing team, even if it's a one person, two person, or whatever it is, then leveraging obviously the capabilities that you have with the agency to obviously expand and scale up and increase your marketing, instead of just being a competition between the internal team and the agency. Obviously, you don't want that. So you want to integrate work correctly, collaborate correctly, and hopefully you can find technology that allows that to work together and enhance that process. Like we said, we use a project management system that allows a lot of this to take place and integrate well with our clients. And last but not least is cultural differences. So an external agency might differ from the culture and the way of doing things that obviously your company does. But nonetheless, you will have to negotiate and see how that aligns with your company. And hopefully it's a fruitful one so that you can continue to enhance your marketing and grow your business. But those are pretty much the cons of working with a marketing agency versus going fully in-house.
My final question. Do you believe that COVID had an impact on this? And which is like the main takeaway from that? Because I know that there was some cuts, so probably it was the best time for agencies to look for to make new partnerships and alliances and get new leads, taking advantage of that situation, maybe.
Well, let's say agencies in perspective, businesses will always need good marketing because that's the way to grow. Even if you don't have a marketing team and you're seeing some type of successes, you're having a good type of communication or message getting across, and that works well. But with COVID in particular, it made everybody more digital than ever. So before we used to rely more on, well, technology, obviously we embrace it and it's changing us with the phone and everything. But with COVID, everybody at their house working from home,
Yes,
obviously
it became more vital.
Correct. And we still see how the workplace has changed. Even though a lot of companies now are going back to office, it's not full office like at some. It is still, some of them or a lot of them are taking a hybrid workplace model where you stay off some days and you can work from home, and the other days you go to the office. Whereas other companies just embrace fully remote, and these people are working fully remote. So digital marketing, obviously, especially in B2B, it became really, really big with digital marketing. That was pretty much the only kind of way you will be able to reach these people and get new companies as your customers.
Awesome, Juan. Thank you so much. This was a really eye-opener and fantastic episode. And to all of our audience, thanks again. Remember, guys, we are on the hottest podcast platforms. And please stay tuned next week for the Customer XP Crew, your weekly podcast about everything customer-centric. And see you next week. And bye-bye.
Goodbye.